Okay, so greetings. This is Ojambo. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to install Paperless NGX using Podman. So be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. Keep it up. It motivates, it inspires me to make tutorials just for you like this one. Now, some of you have requested some specific tutorials, so I'm working on those. So those will be upcoming hopefully by the end of the month. I'm just doing a few testing, and then those should be up as well. Alright, so Paperless NGX, which is basically, just give me a second here. So Paperless NGX is a powerful open source document management system designed to help you go paperless and take control of your digital files. So what this means is that you can put documents such as PDF files. As you can see here, I do have some test PDF files that we're going to use today. And then what you can do as well is it has OCR. If you don't know what OCR, that means optical OCR. I don't know what the C stands for, but R is for recognition. What that means, it reads your document and then you'll be able to transcribe it. I'm surprised I forget what the C stands for. Anyway, so I'm going to walk you through a very simple installation of Paperless NGX using Podman, which is an alternative to Docker, and works great on Linux type systems. So this is great for if you want to self-host solutions and to better manage your documents. The reason I use Podman instead of Docker, you can follow along with Docker, it's a drop-in replacement. The reason I use Podman is because Podman is rootless. What that means is that even if you're in a shared server or you have a server where you don't want to give a user root or super admin permissions, once Podman is installed, the user can install their own programs without interfering with anything else. Like, you don't need to give them root permissions. So that's what makes Podman fantastic, and I'll show you how easy it is to use to install Paperless NGX. So it's a Paperless NGX is a community maintained fork of the original Paperless project. It helps you upload, tag, organize documents. As I said before, you can automatically extract text using the optical OCR. Oh, you know what? I'm getting crazy. Okay, I gotta find out what OCR stands for. What is OCR? This is driving me crazy. I need to find out. Oh, character. I knew. It's character recognition. So the C stands for character. I was like, oh, you should know that. You can search for documents with ease and stay in control with the data with a self-hosted solution. Best part, it's free and open source. So so there's a couple ways to install NGX. So you can clone, for example, you can clone it from the GitHub repository, and then you can you can copy the environmental, the sample environment file, and then after that you can simply run Docker, or in this case I'm going to be running a podman-compose. However, because I'm running locally, I'm going to tweak mine. It's literally based off the Paperless NGX, the GitHub repository, but as I said, because I'm running mine locally, I'm going to tweak mine. So I'm going to show you mine. But to be fair, I should really visit the Paperless NGX repository as well. So let's actually go there, and just to show you, so I'll copy this link, and I should open it up here. So here we go. So so as you can see, they do have a Docker one. So that's the one if you want, you see they have the YAML file, the Docker. So the thing is, I don't need all this stuff. I just need one file. And they also have install Paperless NGX. So I said, because I'm running a Podman, so most of the stuff, not most, a lot of stuff is not needed, because I said I'm running it as a rootless. So as you can see, they have the documents, how it will look like, and you could self-host yourself. It's very, very simple. And you see, you can use a bash command and all that. But I said I'm going to do mine inside a Docker, so inside a container. So that way everything is contained inside the container. So sometimes maybe you install this, then you don't like it. So inside of Docker, as I showed you guys, it's very easy to get rid of Docker. No, Docker. What am I saying? Docker containers. Instead of having all this stuff mark up your operating system, especially on Linux, to install dependencies which you might not want or need. So I'm going to show you how to install it in a different way. We're just going to install everything using Podman instead. So let's get started. So here is my Docker. As I said, this is based off on the one right from their from the GitHub page. So I should actually, to be fair, I should actually be showing the VS. It's Paperless-NGX. So you see, it's a community-supported supercharged document management system which scans, indexes, archives all your documents. And you can see the latest release, actually released 3 days ago. So the latest version is 2.18.1. Okay. So as I said, you see it has all these comments. I believe it should be this Docker file. Let's go to Docker. Should be pretty much the same. Compose. So you have the test one. You see the environmental one, and oh yeah. So you're supposed to download one of these ones based on, for example, if you want to use like SQLite database or Postgres, or what's the other one? MariaDB. So yeah. So mine, as we'll see what version I'm using. So I'm just getting their so if you don't understand what GHCR stands for, that's clearly GitHub. GH stands for GitHub. So if you remember in yesterday's tutorial, I showed you the one from NVIDIA. So this one is from GitHub. All right. So so let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay, let's go down. So this are all comments up here. It gives you instructions how to use it. I said I'm not running Docker, I'm running Podman. So as you can see, so let me just grab an example one. Let's see here. Which one am I grabbing? I'm not sure which one I grabbed. Okay, I'll just grab a sample one here. I'll grab this one, the MariaDB one. So as you can see, it's the same thing up here. You see, it always uses Redis. Here we go. And then MariaDB for the database. I think by default it might use SQLite, which is perfectly fine by me. That's why I didn't bother with that. But I will check the environmental file. It's probably going to be there. And obviously, because a MariaDB or MySQL database, you have to give it the host database username, database user password, and etc. And obviously you need the root password when it's first installed to get it. And you see it also uses GH as well. So that's a paperless. That's against the latest version. So as you can see here, it's set to the latest version. Now it might be a little older. If I didn't delete it, I'll check. And they say restart unless stopped. This is very important. Otherwise, it will keep on stopping. You have to start it manually. So that's not good. And I'm going to map it to port A8000 because I'm not using that right now. But obviously, if this was in a production type environment or something else, I would use a different port number. Or if it was just a server, it's probably even map it to port 80, so it's available if you want to do it that way. Okay, and then you can see the volumes are the data, and then I have the media, and then export and consume, and then we have the I renamed my environmental file to podman-compose. Take a look at that, and this one is using Redis. Okay, so the volumes are data, media, and Redis data. So okay, now let's take a look at my Podman environmental file. So I'll grab it here, and it actually does have something. So if we actually go to the GitHub page and check out, for example, here, this Docker Compose environmental file. So this is where you can set up the maps for the users. This is more needed for if you're not using like a Unix type system, or for example, like here, I can change the time zone. I'll change that when I set the things up or when it's loaded, and some other things like different languages. I'm lucky enough, English is my first language, so I will just stick to that. So I'm not going to change any of this, but you can if you want, and you can see it's literally the same as here. So I'm not going to touch any of that. However, if you want to, you know, as I said before, for example, if you want a different language, if you want to change the URL here, you can do all those things. I said this is going to be localhost. I don't need to do I don't need to make any changes. Okay, so let me before I continue, I'm going to make another window a little bit bigger just in case somebody wants to do a live chat. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's it's pretty straightforward. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump to the command line. So I don't even have a command line here open, so I'll open up the terminal, and oh, I don't want to use the terminal not very good. I use console. Okay, so the console, I'm going to clean it up a little bit first, and then I'll make this easier for people who are running this in who are watching this video from what do you call it, vertical devices, basically mobile phones. So then you just type podman-compose space up and then space -d. You don't need the -d. The -d just means it run detached, so you don't see all the log at the bottom. So I'm pretty confident because I've tested this before, so then I'll just run that, and you can see because I already had the container, so it downloaded very quickly in just like that. And then you see it's running the server. Now let's see if the server is actually up, because sometimes this container is a little bit, so I think this one actually uses Node.js. So just type podman space podman space ps space -a, and you can see they all up and running. So this Docker image for the server is let me zoom out a little bit so you can see much better. You see it was created 24 seconds ago, and that is up. It has been up for 25 seconds, and the Paperless NGX has also been up for 24 seconds, and you see the port, which one we should use. So the one we actually want to use is it's 3. Let's go check out the article. Hopefully it tells me where I should go. Yeah, it's 8,000, so that's why I thought this one, TCP. This one, the 6379, that's an internal one only for Redis. To communicate with this one, so we want 8,000. I think I already said that before, so let me zoom out of that again. Now let's go to I guess I need a web browser. Do I have a web browser open somewhere? Okay, I'll use Chromium. Okay, so Chromium is open up here, so I'll just type localhost. I can type localhost 8,000. So you see here, let me zoom out because this is way too big. There we go. Let's make it 100%. Okay, so make it 100%, and then okay, I'll have to give it a username. I'll just type Edward. Email address, I'll use the usual email address we always use. Ojambo show.local. Password, I think this one has to be, yeah, it has to be long. I'm going to type in a super secure password, and then just like that we're up and running. So let's take a little tour here. See, Paperless NGX is up and running, so let's take a little tour. It says dashboard can be used to show and save views such as the inbox views found under the manage saved views. Okay, so next it's now showing me where you upload, you drag and drop to upload. We'll take care of that, and it will show the list, and then you can tag them if you want for various searches, dates and tags. And then after that there's a combination filters. We won't be using that because there's only going to be 2 documents, but yeah, you can search for all of them using tags corresponding document types, storage paths, etc. etc. Then you can also manage your email accounts for rules, automatically importing documents, and you can have different workflows and file tasks, and you can various tricks for the web app, and that's it. So I'm going to end this, and first thing I always do is let's go to settings. So remember I was telling you before, you can change like the date format. I'd rather do it here than in, you can do it if you're deploying this over obviously multiple systems. Yeah, then I'll probably use the environmental file, but in my case here, this is just for me. I said I prefer, for example, you can change the system language here. For example, I can you see there's no Canadian English, which is a really weird mix between the British and the US English, but I just left that as default. And you see you can change the date format. You can do short, medium, or long. And items per page is set to 50. You can change all this. Update checking. You can enable update checking. It's disabled by default. I like that. Save your views. And then use the PDF viewer provided by a web browser. So it has an internal one, or you can use the one by the web browser. So obviously that will work great for, obviously, if you're on a desktop. If you're on a mobile device, that will not obviously work. So I would leave this unchecked for if I'm on the mobile device. Okay, what else is here? Global search, bulk headings. I don't need to change any of this. Let's go to configuration. This is application configuration, so you can change the logo. You can choose and add your own logo in here, and then give it a title. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And those OCR, I do know what the C stands for: character, optical character recognition. There we go. So as you can see, you can have, for example, the different ones. You can change the language here, the pages, clean. I just leave everything as default. I don't need to change this. And then the barcode settings, you can enable that. You see by default they are disabled, but you can enable them. And then you can enable TIFF support, string, split pages, ASN, upscale. Yeah, so you see that. Can I just remove that? Oh yeah, there we go. So, and then you can hit save. So obviously you have to hit save. Just remember to click save when you're done. So users and groups, you should only have one user. That's correct. That's Edward. Edward is clearly an admin, or super admin, if you will. So you can add other users if you want. File tasks, we don't have any now. And then obviously there's logs. So logs right now is just me installing it and signing in. You see it created the initial super user, which was clearly me, myself. All right, now this is pretty straightforward. So let's go to the dashboard, and you see our dashboard. There's no documents now, so let's go to documents, and here there's none as well. So in order to add, let's go back to the dashboard. How do we add a document here? It's a little hard when the screen is smaller, I think. Oh yeah, upload documents. So click on upload documents. I'm going to see if I can drag and drop. So it's I can just drag and drop. So let's try that, drag and drop. So I see I have these two documents. I created this one, this Google Maps. I created this one a long time ago because there was a client who wanted to use Google Maps. I used them for Google Maps, so because this was the old instructions to get how to get the API keys. So I'm going to drag this, and hopefully it does work. You see, it's probably not going to work because I'm on Wayland. Yeah, so it's probably not going to work. I probably have to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, so I'll just do that. I'll go to our tutorial, paper something. What was it? Paperless. There we go. So I'll click this document, and I'll click these two documents. Actually, you know what? I'll do one at a time. So you see down here, it's generating the thumbnail, and it's finished. I can open this document. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click open document, and you can see here the document is here. It tells me the date it was created. Obviously that was today's date at time of this recording, and there's a content here. This was a very simple PDF file. It was literally just I typed something up and exported as a PDF, so it doesn't have like a lot of metadata or things like that. Oh, it does have some. Obviously when it was added, so this is not what I mean is some of the data, like, you know, as an author, those type of things is what I mean to say. And obviously there's no notes, and there's some history here, but this history is just for uploading it here. So there's nothing special about this one. You do have some actions. You can send it, you know, you can rotate, delete pages, etc. So that's actually very, very handy. You can also, it's not just PDF files. I'm using PDF files as an example. So you can have what is that format Microsoft uses for their Word? Is it docx? yeah, you can upload those, or you can also upload LibreOffice or OpenOffice documents as well, and you can do the same thing. So you might need a plugin for the ODS, ODT files. Okay, so let's go back to our, let's click on documents. Now you see there's only one document here. So, and you can see here we can open it, we can do a preview, and then we can clearly also download it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another document, and I'm going to open up the phone, and I'll show you how you can also, even if you're local, you can use it on your mobile device. Now, to use it on your mobile device, you need to have a relatively new one. So if your phone is at least from 2020, I believe, sorry, let me repeat that. If you have a non-Android device, that obviously iOS, it will work without any problems. Android devices, especially the ones that were, because it took Google a very long time to implement, the local host stuff. I don't know why, so it might not work. However, I do have a trick that will work on all devices, and I'll show you that. Obviously, you have to be on the same network. I mean, there are ways you can get away from it, but I'm just going to make it really simple. I'm just going to assume you're on the same network. I'll show you how to do it in a second. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and I'm going to upload another image. Let me see if the drag and drop works this time. So this time I'm going to use this programming course details PDF file. Oh, there we go. Now I can do it. And you can see it, I don't know, maybe that's a bug. Okay, so it's generating a thumbnail, and it's done. So I can open this document, and you can see here it's a course details. That is weird that that file was, it actually get the date 2023. Oh, very interesting. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's because this file, I downloaded it pretty recently, but the other file, I think it came from a computer that crashed. So I guess when I created it for my backup, it got the wrong date. That is really weird that it got this one right. So this one might have actually some, let's go to the metadata. Does it have any weird metadata? No, this one also does not. It looks like it was created the same way I created my file. Okay, so there we go. And obviously, so the reason it's a little small here is obvious. It's actually much bigger is because I crashed the screen. So I'm going to try it on the phone. So in order to use your phone, I'm going to show you the trick. What you do is, let's go back to the command line. You see on the command line here, if you're on a Unix system, you type ifconfig. So if you're on like BSD, if you're on Linux, if you're Mac OS, you type ifconfig, then it will give you information. I'll show you how to read that. If you're on if you have Bash, I guess, installed on Windows, you can use that. I'm not sure how to use the term. I think, what's it called? Windows something Linux. Yeah, I actually let me actually find out what that is. It's called WSL. What does that stand for? Windows subsystem. Windows subsystem for Linux. So if you have that, you might be able to also run ifconfig. Otherwise, I believe on Windows, if you guys are logged in Windows, you type ipconfig, and that will do the same thing. So basically, what it does is, obviously, you can also go and we don't want your public IP. We want your local IP. So if you type this, you see down here, it's going to give me my local IP address, this one here. So it's 192.168.1.230. That's from the router. That's the number that I do want. Okay, so that's the number that I do want. So what you do is you open up your phone, you go and you pick whatever browser you want to use. So I'm going to use the Brave browser here. You might be wondering, why don't I share my screen? Well, the reason is I'm using a different phone for the webcam, so you can see my mug there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type 192. So you see there, I don't know if you can see it properly. Yeah, right there. And then it will tell you the connection is not secure. See that? So what you do is you just go to details, and what else can I do here? Connection cannot be reached because it's not secure. So I think I should be able to allow maybe this. Okay, I'm going to use a different browser. That's going to be a pain. Let me try Google Chromium browser. Let's try that. 192. Oh yeah, there we go. I'm using a Chrome browser. I forgot to put 8000. Hope you guys can see that. Alright. And you can see it will tell you how to log in. So you can log in, which I'm going to do in a second. Okay. There we go. You see, I've logged in, and see, that's locally. And then, for example, I can click. So you can click the menu. Let me actually go to one of the documents. I'll click on the documents, and there we go. So you can see the document, how they're on the mobile version, and I'm going to click on the Google Maps API document. I don't want to delete it. You see, give me a delete button. I don't want to delete it. So what I'll do is just click on the view. Oops, no, that's not the one I want. I want the view. I click on the I button, but it's not viewing. What is going on here? Okay. Anyways, I'm going to log out. So I'll go here, and you can see allows me to log out. Okay, so I've logged out. All right, so that's how you can get to it on the mobile device. Where were we here? So that's how we get to it on the mobile device. Okay, so we're basically done here. There's nothing. Oh, sorry. There's other things here. Like obviously you can send it to the trash. There's mail. So you can set up your. You can add an account. For example, click add account. You put in the IMAP server, iPort. Or this. So IMAP. If you don't know what IMAP means that's to retrieve. You retrieve the headers and then and the messages, and then SMTP, that's one to send. So this one can retrieve your emails. Obviously it gets to download documents. Save views. There's custom fields, storage paths. You can create a storage path. I'm not going to do that. Then document types and tags. I haven't created any tags yet. You know what? Let's actually go create a tag before we go. So let's go to this one here. And see actions, more like this. No, that's not what I want. I want to, oh yeah, tags down here. So I'll call this maps. You see, I've now added a map, and then I'll leave it fine. So you see, it's added a tag there called map, and you can change the storage patch, document type. That's simple enough. It's a PDF. So there we go. Now if we go back to our document types, you see there's PDF. If we go to tags, there's maps. It's nice and simple. Is there anything else you guys want? I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to close all. Close documents. I have unsaved changes. I also close them if they're open. I haven't made any edits, so that's perfectly fine. So we can go to, let's go back to our dashboard. And oh, what is this? Initiating, upload, etc. So I can clear all of them. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So my profile, obviously, let's go to my profile. You can change your password, enable two-factor authentication. What else can I do here? Settings. I think we were in settings. Yeah, we were in settings before. And documentation. You go to docs, paperless.ngx.com. So it's taking its sweet time here. I'm going to get, okay, fine. I don't know why that Cloudflare one is a little bit slow. So then you see it explains everything there, how it actually looks like. I think it I like the dark theme. I don't know if I changed it or that was the default. I'm not 100% sure of that. Oh yeah, it also supports dark mode. Okay, so let's go back. How did I change that one? How did I change? Oh yeah, permissions, notification, system status, open Django admin. What in the world? I don't remember that one. Huh, interesting. The Django. Oh, I never saw that before. I don't even remember that one. Okay, that's good to know. I can't remember how is it configuration? I don't remember how I changed it to dark mode. Maybe because it was a little bit bigger. That's one of the problems with the smaller screen. I can't really what do you call it? I can't see everything because everything is so compressed. But anyway, I'm gonna log out because we're essentially done here. So I'm gonna close out. So that's Paperless NGX. Let's finish up here. As you can see the screenshots, I showed you how you can run this in a podman container. It's pretty straightforward. As you can see, when you run podman-compose up -d for detached, you see it will run. It will pull the it will pull it from it will pull Redis from docker.io. And what else is here? This is the browser you saw me set up the admin, the initial admin user, and this is the dashboard. You guys have seen that both on the phone and the desktop. And as you can see, it's under its appearance. Oh, appearance. Okay, I don't know how I missed that. It's under settings general. It's right up there. Okay, the display. Okay, there you go. So that's how you change it. And user groups. I showed you guys all this, how to configuration, the dashboard again, and this is how it looks like on the mobile device. You can see here, as long as you got the IP address of your local machine or the server where you installed it, you'll be able to do it locally. Now, if you want to install a an SSL certificate, I've done tutorials. I might do another one coming up soon as well for your local machines, so you can be trusted. I even showed you how to do that in an Android. Maybe I'll redo those tutorials coming up soon. And there we go. So this is how it looks like on my mobile device. This is actually taken from the mobile device. And this is the live stream. Another one coming. So as you can see, that's a true live stream you guys are showing right now. So if you want to learn more, especially JavaScript resources, if you're new to programming and want to understand more about how apps like Paperless NGX work under the hood, I've written a book and created a course to help you. So the book is called Learning JavaScript. It's available on Amazon. The link is in the description. I also have a course called Learning JavaScript. It's available on ojamboshop.com. The link is also in the description. So these resources are great for beginners and walk you through JavaScript fundamentals in a simple project-based way. If you need help, I offer one-on-one programming tutorials, including custom Paperless NGX installs, migration from older versions, server updates, and backups. You can contact me on ojambo.com/contact to schedule a session. Let me know in the comments if you like to see an advanced setup using Caddy, SSL, or remote backups. Thanks for reading and happy August. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. I would like to thank everybody who subscribed so far this month. It inspires me to make tutorials just like this one, just for you. And for everybody who requested, for example, I think it was like jellyfin inspired tutorial that's upcoming. I've finished it. It's really coming up really soon, before the end of this month. And then there's another one. I think it was I found the name. It's called PeerTube. I have a PeerTube one where you can create your own YouTube. That's also upcoming. It will be, I believe, yeah, that'll be coming up pretty soon as well. Let me see. It might even be up here yet. Okay, it'll definitely be next week. Okay, now with that said, checking the live chat to see if there's any chat requests. I don't see any for today, so I'm gonna leave you, and you guys, hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.